If you scroll on social media, you see the craziest physique transformations and it looks like everyone has a six-pack. This new wave of fitness content has resulted in many people having unrealistic expectations in their fitness journey. Let me remind you, just 90 years ago, this individual named Charles Atlas was nicknamed the most perfectly developed man on Earth. Now imagine if this gentleman would post fitness videos online today. You would get comments asking whether he even lifts. Another example is Georg Lurich. Georg Lurich is a famous strongman from the 1900s who was known as the world's strongest man. In today's day and age, many people would call him small. These individuals were considered peak fitness not that long ago. So if you are not completely ripped with massive muscles like the famous influencers, do not get discouraged. If you are taking care of your health, are building a strong body and maintain a healthy fat percentage, you are winning right now and can still achieve an impressive physique after years of work. Now, the good news is that unlike Charles Atlas and Georg Lurich, you have access to high-quality, science-based information, an abundance of food options, and more advanced gym equipment. We can have more effective training and nutrition approaches than people in the past, which increases your progress potential. So I'm not telling you to settle for average in this video, I just don't want you to fall for a lot of the misinformation you can see online these days. Because the truth is, many of the people you see on your Explore page are on the special juice. Research suggests that about 1.6% of the general population takes anabolic steroids. Of this 1.6%, 78% of users were young men that regularly go to the gym. Some of these young men are the individuals you might see on your Explore page and compare yourself to. Essentially, never compare your progress to someone you're seeing online because you don't know what cocktail of supplements they're actually taking. Focus on you and only compare yourself to who you were 1 or 2 years ago. Because the reality of a natural lifter is that making progress takes time. Let's use my own journey as an example. This is how I look after 10 to 11 years of lifting weights. I started when I was 16 years of age and now I am 27 years old. If I may say about myself, I think I've done a pretty good job in building an aesthetic physique. I also feel strong bench pressing over 275 pounds, weighted pull-ups with over 2 plates, and squatting over 3 plates. I can hold up myself well against the most developed man on earth in the 1900s. But I do not look like some of these freak athletes you will see online. Now I must say, you can reach my level of progress in less than 10 years. If I look back at my journey, it was not a perfect 10 years. I definitely also had my phases of indulging too much on food and at times skipping workouts. Especially in the first 2 to 3 years, I was slacking and I could have gotten more out of my progress. With perfect action taking, I might have been able to achieve these results in 5 years. But I guess my point is, you do not have to be perfect to make great progress. And even if you are 100% on point with your training and nutrition, it still takes years of training to build a solid foundation of muscle. But from experience, I can tell you it's worth it. More important than just the physical progress, you will build awesome health habits that will make you feel more energized in your work, family life, and you just carry yourself differently. I always like to say, the biggest prize in your fitness is having longevity in your health. Getting jacked is the really cool byproduct. By the way, did you know that there is a Reddit forum in which people are debating whether I am natty or not? It's kind of crazy how people were doubting whether I am enhanced. But if anything, this shows that with years of hard work and consistency, you can build an impressive physique naturally, to the point that even some people will doubt your natty status. And in case you are wondering, the people on the forum came to the conclusion that I do look natural, which is nice, but also a bit disappointing. It would have been cooler if they thought I was a freak of nature. But anyway, maybe it will get to that point if I continue training hard over the next few years. Next, it is also important to mention that we all have different genetics that influence how fast you can build muscle or lose fat. If we all would follow the same exact training plan, we would get widely different results. In fact, there's research supporting this. The University of Massachusetts gathered 585 volunteers and made them perform the same upper body workouts for 12 weeks. After 12 weeks, as you can see in this figure, muscle growth varied widely between individuals. Part of this difference in progress is that we all have different training needs. Another thing to consider is that some people may just pack on muscle more quickly than others. For instance, research shows that your frame size is associated with muscle mass. So if you naturally have wider wrists, knees, and shoulders, you will be able to pack on muscle faster. This intuitively makes sense. A wider body frame will also be able to pack on more muscle. Your birth weight is another variable that influences your muscle growth potential. Those with a higher birth weight tend to carry more muscle mass later in life. So this is another reason why you should not compare your progress with that of anyone else. There are genetic differences at play. Compare your progress only to the past version of yourself. When it comes to losing body fat, genetics matter too. You probably know someone who can maintain a low body fat percentage easily, while others have to really work for it. A theory in nutritional sciences that offers an explanation for this phenomenon is a dual intervention model. Essentially, your body gets used to being at a certain range of body fat. If you have been hovering between 15 and 25% body fat for most of your life, your metabolism adapts to this and gets accustomed to this fat percentage range. So in this example, if you try to go below 15% body fat, your body starts fighting back through metabolic adaptations. While if you go above 25% body fat, your metabolism will increase to pull you back in the 15 to 25% range. So as you can imagine, someone who naturally has a lower body fat percentage ever since they grew up will more easily maintain this low body fat in the future, while someone who has grown up being overweight will have a more difficult time getting their body fat percentage down. Of course, I'm not saying this to use it as an excuse. I have had so many clients who started with me being overweight and then achieved amazing progress, like Zachariah, who lost 80 pounds in 1 year, or Sylvester, who lost 50 pounds in 1 year, and not to forget my coaching client Adalai, who made amazing progress in 6 months with really hard work. So impressive progress can still be made even if you have to start at a higher body fat. It may just take you more time than the average individual. I wanted to make this video about expectation management for a while now, just to explain how different we are and why you should not get too distracted by all the noise online. It is okay to get inspired by certain athletes, and maybe even have a goal physique in mind. For instance, when I started lifting weights at 16 years of age, I used to look up to Greg Plitt, but I will never look exactly like Greg Plitt because I am not him. I have my own muscle insertions and genetic composition. You will get lean and muscular in your own way. So there are 3 key takeaways I want you to get from this video. First, social media often shows an exaggerated view of fitness, with influencers showcasing non-natural physiques. Historic figures like Charles Atlas and Georg Lurich were considered peak fitness, but in today's society, they would be seen as average at best. As a natural lifter, progress will take time, so the last thing you want to do is compare yourself to other famous people in the fitness industry. Second takeaway, genetics plays a key role in your muscle growth and fat loss progress. Genetic variables like your frame size, birth weight, and body fat set points all impact how easily you can build muscle and lose body fat. Acknowledge that these genetic differences exist and do not get discouraged. The third and last key takeaway, prioritize your health and aesthetics will follow. Achieving an impressive physique takes years of consistent effort. To make this a worthwhile and sustainable process, also celebrate the long-term health benefits you achieve from consistent training and nutrition. Think about benefits like having increased strength and energy throughout the day. Remember, the ultimate reward of fitness is longevity. The physical progress is a byproduct of living healthy and training hard. Now, if you have been struggling with your fitness and want professional guidance, apply to my private online coaching service. Through my online coaching, you will work with me one-on-one. I will personally design your fitness plan and hold you accountable. I have worked with hundreds of people from different backgrounds who have achieved amazing results, and I would love for you to be next. I do not work with everyone though, because I only have limited space in my coaching service. So if you are serious about your fitness, apply to my coaching and we can schedule a call to discuss your goals. And that was all for today's video. I hope you now have better expectation management in your fitness journey. As always, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Also here above, I have an awesome new video aligned for you, so go ahead and check that out. And I will see you in the next one.